Hey family, this is Reginald Kuankaru. A subscriber asked a series of questions that I thought were very valid and very powerful that I want to address from a Kemetic paradigm because I believe it will be helpful for many to understand. This is what Amina Zulu asked. She says, once upon a time, not long ago, the mantra was opposites attract. But we are undoubtedly in the age of toxic positivity gaslighting, and things like this are vehemently expressed when good people are desperately trying to understand why bad things are happening to them. Why someone who is a giver attracts a bunch of takers. Why people who never cheat in relationships attract super cheaters. Why people who work hard attract low ambitious bums. And the explanation of this will get real jazzy and abstract. But I always wonder why these "you are what you attract" seeds are sown into the hearts and minds of people who are seeking to really understand. And what kind of fruit is it intended to produce or does produce? Not being funny or contentious, I really want to know. So the fundamental question she asks is, why do bad things happen to good people? A secondary question is why anyone would say you attract what you are and get bad acting people that use and take from her. She's not a user or taker, yet she attracts these people in her life. I can completely understand her reaction to my meme and why she would term it toxic positivity, because of what others teach on the surface makes no logical sense. She asked in a context of romantic relationships, so I'm going to answer it in that context, but understand that human interaction is much more complex than I can address in a 10 or 15-minute video. In other words, I'm going to answer this in a very simplified way so as to help her understand the principle. But any interaction between two people can add many layers of complexity. I will also address how this is looked at through Christianity and the law of attraction, where it just doesn't seem to make sense. But the Kemetic science paradigm will help when you grasp the principles. So let's get started. So 2 levels you have to understand these questions from are soul contracts and what is their I am. A soul contract is an agreement souls make with each other to play a part in each other's life story before they incarnate on earth. Now, this is definitely a different paradigm than Christianity. So there's a different way of thinking here and a different paradigm. This is the Kemetic paradigm, that we live multiple lives. Their I am is the vibrational essence of a person's being. In other words, it's who they are connected to the universe through their vibrational frequency. Another way to think about this is the principle that life is feedback as to your vibration. Vibration is the essence of all interactions and manifestations. This is why so many don't quite know how to explain these concepts with clarity. This will also address the goddess's statement of getting really jazzy and abstract when surrounding you are what you attract. So 2 people interacting in any relationship are usually like being in a dance of learning from each other. Both may be insecure, but have to learn from 2 different perspectives. Now, I'm not saying this is specifically about this particular goddess. This is just an example, okay? From the Kemetic paradigm, when you incarnate on earth, you enter into the Osirian cycle of experience. You become trapped in matter. In the Kemetic paradigm, Osiris is the personification of the power of the soul to create on the earth plane. The ancient Kemetians called it the Ka. Within this paradigm, life can be analogous to a stage play or game in which you, as the god or goddess in training, is the director or creator of the stage play. When you descend into the underworld, you forget who you are and are prompted through life experience to remember, develop your power, and awaken along the way. As the creator of this life adventure, you are never the victim, But unfortunately, many have been taught to believe that they are at the mercy of what is happening in our lives. The ancients would say that those unaware are dead. But the whole time you are in a relationship, you are learning and teaching each other. This understanding will always be more empowering than the beliefs that you are cursed, being punished, or that you are powerless to change anything. None of that is true. When you understand the Kemetic science principles, life will make more sense. But if you only have been taught the rules through Christian doctrines or law of attraction, then you run the risk of confusion and contradiction. One lesson that the subscriber and the people she is interacting with may be learning is learning how to love and appreciate oneself. The dance they are in is from the perspective of someone who cheats and the person they cheated on. What's often not recognized by the law of attraction type people is that they are both on the same wound that needs to be healed. They both may be insecure people who may become attracted to the other. But one may be a narcissist and the other may be someone who may suffer from low self-esteem. On the surface, you have what may seem to be the classic of opposites attract. They also have two different types of behavior, but deep down, it's the same fear. They both want to be loved for who they are. They just approach the life lesson from two different perspectives, yet are in the same dance of life with each other. This should clear up the jazzy abstract teaching they got before. The narcissist wants to be seen as a valued, loved, and appreciated person. They may start out the relationship showering their object of affection with attention and gifts and loving how their object of affection responds to them. For a short time, they feel on top of the world. Then some form of rejection happens in the narcissist's perspective. The object of their affection may not even be aware of what they did. It may have been a subconscious reaction where the woman reacted a certain way or said something that may seem to be unimpressed by the attention. The narcissist is then triggered. He may not be financially well off and feel that his gift was not appreciated because it wasn't expensive enough. It starts a cascade of behaviors that end up with him looking outside the relationship to be validated as valued. In his mind, all women care about is money. His justification is that they are no more than gold diggers. Why are all women this way, he might think. So he cheats because the other woman feeds his bruised ego. The woman cheated on may suffer from low self-esteem. While the narcissist is showering her with attention and affection, she may harbor deep-seated guilt for receiving something good in her life. She may be dealing with childhood sexual abuse or some other trauma that makes her feel unworthy of receiving true love. The attention she is receiving from the narcissist triggers her deep-seated insecurities and guilt, so she reacts in a way that triggers the narcissist. She is cheated on and knows she does not deserve the behavior from it. This pattern becomes a constant in her relationships, and she begins to think and believe that all men are cheaters. She may feel powerless to change the relationships or that they just seem to happen to her for no good reason. I'm a good woman, she might think. Why are these no good men attracted to me? The principle that both souls are working through is to honor themselves by learning to love and appreciate who they are, regardless of what someone on the outside may say or do. In this case, like does attract like because both are the essence of being insecure and in need of outside validation. They are vibrationally alike, not personality or behaviorally. This is where a lot of law of attraction people fall off the tracks. They're repeating mantras but don't understand the science. In the Kemetic paradigm, from the vibration soul level, they both attract their teacher and are working through the lesson. If they grow and develop personally by becoming self-confident, gain wisdom from the traumatic interaction, and assimilate the lesson, they will be released from the vibrationally synced, energetic cycle of this lesson and learn to establish more healthy relationships. If they don't, they'll get the chance to repeat it over and over in new relationships and new lives until they learn the lesson and gain the wisdom of loving themselves unconditionally. If you only grasp this lesson from the law of attraction idea that like attracts like, then there is no way to see the cheater and the cheated on as being alike. The essence of both operating from fear and insecurity, needing validation, will be lost. Again, these feelings are of like vibration, not personality or behavior. It's about vibrational essence that attracts like, not personality or behavior. This is why bad things can happen to good people, because you can have a negative belief system around certain areas of your life. You match vibrationally with the negative stuff in people. You can be like them vibrationally, but not behaviorally. From a Christian perspective, the woman might feel victimized by the cheater and may never heal in this life and keep repeating the same patterns of relationships. She gains comfort in the idea that the sinner will be punished in hell for doing her wrong, or at least be punished by having a bad life. She will most likely never reach a level of awareness of her programming. This is where sacred process mastery tools become so powerful and helpful to personal development. The cheat will justify his actions with the same feeling of insecurity. He's the victim because of her rejection of his attention or gift, and is therefore justified in what he does. He gains comfort in the idea that he has the power to just go out and get a new woman. He does not have the courage to truly look at himself and see any fault. That would confirm his negative opinion of himself. So he finds fault and blame with the woman. He creates his own hell in his relationships. Within the Kemetic paradigm, you are a god or goddess in training with the ability to create the life you desire. Understanding that perspective will make you take responsibility for all aspects of your life. If you are a creator, you cannot blame what you created as your life and interactions. This is very difficult for anyone with low self-esteem to accept. Through sacred process mastery, you learn principles that help you to recognize how to proceed when things are not working as you want. You are divine spark of the creator learning and developing who you are. You can live life as you choose. You don't have to fear burning in hell forever because you realize and know that you learn forever. Even though you won't burn in hell, there are consequences. They're just not meant for punishment. They're to help you learn. Oftentimes, in a new incarnation, you switch positions with the person that you wronged so that you can gain wisdom from the understanding of how that person you cheated on may have felt. In our scenario of the cheating narcissist, he may reincarnate as a woman who he will then be cheated on. That's the consequence, not as a punishment, but to learn. But if they both remain angry and bitter, never recognizing that they have the same patterns in their relationships and feeling like they have been the ones victimized, they will stay on the cycle of reincarnation until they understand the lesson. You will repeat it until you get it. To sum this up, like does attract like. On the surface, they may seem opposites in personality and behavior, but usually they're opposites of the same experience dancing around the other until they learn the lessons. From a Kemetic paradigm, you attract who you are at the most intimate level of your being. That's the vibrational level. From a Kemetic philosophy, life is your mirror that is meant to help you gain wisdom and learn. You're never a victim. You are never being punished. You are on a journey in which you're always learning. Again, you won't burn forever, you learn forever. I hope this helps in some way to clear up the jazzy abstract law of attraction ideas that are confusing and what she terms as toxic positivity. If you are interested in raising your level of knowledge on these ideas, you can join the Kemetic Centered Living community and take the African Mind Rewire class to get a better grasp of these consciously elevated concepts. You can go to jointhekclfamily.com and get VIP access to the African Mind Rewire class, peer coaching, supplemental courses, and content. Thank you for watching. See you inside the KCL community.